K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the must-see Coast to Coast Entertainment Network, and you are watching another episode of Sports Minute. I am Ace, and of course, I am joined tonight by none other than, that's right, J-Mac, the bearded one. That's what we call him. How you doing tonight, J-Mac?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Okay, and then, of course, we have our special guest tonight, which is, he goes by Chris. Right now, we just call him Chris. I don't know what else to call him.
No.
I guess we call him Chris the Cowboys fan. How you doing tonight, Chris?
I'm doing good. Glad to be back.
All right, absolutely. So we know that every Saturday here on Sports Minute, we call it Open Forum. That's what we do. So basically, we just talk about it's an open conversation. So if you have anything you want us to talk about in the comment box, you go ahead and just put it up there. We will try and talk about your topic, and then for us, we just, like I said, we just come up with random things to talk about. So to go ahead and kick off this show, I got a fantastic one here to talk about that I know you guys are going to really like. Okay, and so I will say that this one that you're going to really like, of course, you know where I'm going with this, is the whole LeBron James debacle here with the whole with the protocol, okay, the health and safety protocol, and we know that James Harden got fined for it. We know that Caris LeVert had to miss the 2 play-in games because of health and safety of the protocol. So then LeBron James was under the health and safety protocol, but he ended up playing anyways, and then when they found it out, they said he didn't have to get fined or miss any games. This to me is the problem. All right, is that it's making the NBA look really, really bad because it's kind of that double standard. Because it's LeBron James and they call him the king. They're saying that he's the best player in the NBA right now. Debatable on that. But, J-Mac, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with you. What is your whole thought on this whole thing?
Well, I think that basketball is already hard enough to watch because of what it's become as far as being, a flop contest and who can get to the free throw line more, and a 3-point shooting contest. That's really what it's become. No one wants to take it into the hole anymore or shoot that fadeaway. Man, that fadeaway was, and being a Tim Duncan fan, that fadeaway was sweet. Like, I loved watching Tim Duncan hit that fadeaway, hit the backboard and swish it for a game winner. And I just think we've gotten away from that. The NBA is hard enough to watch, and then you get this whole thing where it's like, one of your players can pretty much do what he wants. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good look for the NBA. I think the problem is that Adam Silver wants to be the players' friends. He doesn't want to be their commissioner. I think that has a lot of where the NBA's really gone down.
Yeah. And I think, too, the commissioner's not giving everybody the same, punishments or same regulations.
But that's the point I'm talking about.
Right.
That's a whole double standard. Because
it is a double standard.
James Harden. Yeah, because you have James Harden who comes out, he gets fined. And then you have Caris LeVert who has to miss the 2 play-in games because of the health and safety protocol. And then they look at LeBron James and goes, well, it should have happened to him, but we're not going to do anything. And you know why? Because his name is LeBron James. That's why they're not going to do anything. And so I'm looking at this going, this is part of the problem with the NBA, is because there's this double standard. You have somebody like LeBron who can whine, cry, and he gets whatever he wants. He's kind of that golden child.
But he also, I think Adam Silver's thinking, well, he does all these endorsements, he does these public addresses and all this, and maybe they're like, we shouldn't fine him. I don't know.
I understand, Chris. Like, I get what you're saying as far as looking at it that way, but then how come how come you have another commissioner in Roger Goodell who, when Brady got caught for the fourth or fifth time cheating for that team with Deflategate, he was finally like, I've had enough of this. You're gone for 4 games. I don't care what you do for this league. I don't care if you're the face of the league or not. So, I mean, explain that to me. Like, how do you have such differences in the commissioners? And just like, okay, we know the worst commissioner in any league right now is Rob Manfred for Major League Baseball, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so, but one thing you got to say for Bud Selig, who was before him, all these guys that got caught with steroids, like Ryan Braun, Manny Ramirez, Johnny Damon, Alex Rodriguez, all these guys that were the face of the league, he was like, I don't care who you are, you're sitting out your 81 games. It doesn't matter to me who you are. And that's the kind of commissioner we need to get back to.
Yes.
You have to have that. You have to do it. Because right now, how do you think James Harden or Karis LeVert feels being like, really? Karis LeVert had to miss the 2 playing games, and James Harden got fined. How do you think that they feel right now that they're looking at this going, really? He gets off scot-free. I have to pay a fine and miss 2 games.
Yeah, and actually, if you remember, and you might not be old enough to remember this, Chris, and I think Ace he probably's old enough to remember that when Jordan was big, there was a game in which Jordan showed up late to a practice because he had just come off of a gambling. He was in a card game gambling in Atlantic City, and he couldn't get away in time to come back to practice. And Phil Jackson and David Stern did not care. He did not start the next game.
I think I've heard that. I didn't
he might not have sat out the whole game, but he sat out the first quarter. They said, you're not playing.
Oh, absolutely. And so, to me, that's why I'm saying, right now we have this huge double standard that's going on that needs to be changed. I think what happens to one player should happen to them all. There shouldn't be, just because this guy's our big draw and people always talk about him, it shouldn't even matter. It should not matter at all. The rule should apply for anybody regardless.
Completely agree. Absolutely.
I do agree with that, yeah.
And so
I'll just say it right now, like, yes, we're Braves fans, and Acuna is far and away the best hitter in baseball right now. 15 home runs, whatever, he hit his 15th today to lead the league. But if it came out and said that he was caught with some illegal substance, suspend him. Suspend him.
Absolutely.
I'm totally for it.
You'd be going, why did you do that? Now you guys sit out.
I would never stick up for, it doesn't matter what team I'm a fan of. If any player on that team came out and got caught for some type of cheating or violated the protocol or whatever, and he didn't get a fine, I would come out and be like, well, that's not right. The other guys did. It's simply because if you don't follow a rule, if you get caught cheating or whatever, you should be punished for it. It's just how it is.
And I hate to bring this up again because it seems like every time we bring up something like this, I go off on this rant. But let's not forget, okay? Let's not forget. Tiger Woods didn't even break a rule for the PGA. There was no rule against cheating on your spouse. Is it? I mean, integrity-wise, is it okay? Absolutely not. And I agree with that. However, he didn't break a rule. And look at what happened to him. Everyone was like, what kind of person are you? LeBron James broke a rule, flat out, didn't care, had disregard for everything and didn't care and broke the rule, and they're like, oh, we're not going to give you anything. Oh, you shouldn't because it's LeBron. That's what I'm talking about. That's where the double standards are.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it happened to Tiger Woods, people wanted Tiger Woods' head on a stick. And they're like, and Tiger Woods should never be allowed to golf again. And I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. What rule did he break? He didn't break any rule in PGA. Yeah, he did something that wasn't right. I understand. But it had nothing to do with golf.
He broke an unwritten rule, per se. Like, that's something you're not supposed to do. It shouldn't be.
It's one of those hidden social rules.
Right.
It's not, but it wasn't a golf rule. That's why I said, it's.
Okay, but I mean, we want to talk about like unwritten rules and all that. is it really is it really integrity-wise okay for you to go to an all-star game and say, hey, man, you should come play with me next year, and be talking to a guy who's playing on another team? No. But we see NBA players do that all the time.
And LeBron's one of them.
And that's what I'm saying. So if we're going to do this kind of stuff to Tiger Woods, which should be done in all the sports, should be the same thing.
Trust me, I completely agree with you. So before we go on to our next topic here, let me throw out a few of the little final scores here. So we have the Atlanta Braves today that beat the Pittsburgh Pirates. Thank God, we needed that. 6-1. Right now you have the Oakland A's, who are currently beating the Los Angeles Angels 3-0 in the top of the sixth. You have the New York Yankees, who shut out the Chicago White Sox 7-0. You have the Colorado Rockies, who actually edged the Arizona Diamondbacks 7-6. And then you have the Washington Nationals, who came in and beat the Baltimore Orioles 12-9. What a high-scoring game that was. And I don't know if you guys happen to see any of the highlights on that one or not, but when I was watching that game at first, the Baltimore Orioles actually had a 5-0 lead. They hit a grand slam in the top of the first, and I'm like, wow, they could actually beat the Nationals. And then guess what? The Nationals came back and beat them. But it's the Baltimore Orioles, and we said it at the beginning of the season. We're like, wow, the Baltimore Orioles are not going to be good. And they were not good so far.
Yeah. By the way, you mentioned that the Red Sox beat the Phillies. That's good for Atlanta, because that means that we are, I believe, a half a game behind the Phillies.
I actually haven't gotten that far yet, but that's okay. And that's still okay. But then we have the Texas Rangers, who beat the Houston Astros 8-4. I know, Chris, you have to be awfully excited about that, right? Because your Texas Rangers got the win, which you know in reality that the Texas Rangers are just not good.
Oh, I know. They said they've been rebuilding for the last few years, but really, it's this year. But it's going to take a while. It's going to take a long while.
Definitely. And then let's look at the two, I guess you can call them bottom feeders right now. You had the Detroit Tigers taking on the Kansas City Royals, and the Royals won 7-5. How about the Milwaukee Brewers beating the Cincinnati Reds 4-3? Right now you have two Milwaukee Brewers pitchers that are technically, if the Cy Young race was to end today, two Milwaukee Brewers starters would be in that conversation. And then I got to throw this out there because Brandon Herrera is a Minnesota Twins fan. And yes, they lost in extra innings again, 5-3 to the Cleveland Indians, who, let me put that out there and say, they have been no-hit twice. So it's kind of funny because there's been 7 no-hitters this year and 3 teams have been no-hit twice.
Rangers one of them.
Which is the Rangers, the Mariners, and then the Indians. They have all been no-hit twice.
Wow.
And then the Miami Marlins beat the Mets. That's huge. That was huge. They beat the Mets. The Boston Red Sox, like J-Mac said, they beat the Phillies. The Cardinals beat the Cubs. The Dodgers beat the Giants. The Rays beat the Blue Jays. And then the Padres beat the Mariners. So now we can kind of jump into our next topic because I know we have a few comments here on the side that Brandon said, let's chat the Braves 20-1 win and how Acuna Jr. wanted to bat left-handed in his last at-bat, which he did. And he's not really a lefty, but he wanted to try it. So let me ask you this. Do you think that this is one of the unwritten rules, again, like you talk about, to where it's like you shouldn't do that because it's trying to rub it in a team's face?
Yeah. I think I would have taken a little bit of exception to that one, even though I'm a Braves fan, and it would have been cool to see. Yeah, I don't think you do that in a game. You're winning 20-1, and you're like, basically you're going out and saying you're not worth my time to bat right-handed. I'm just going to come out here and bat left-handed.
Right.
That's something that you do, in an all-star game.
Or slow pitch softball. Yeah.
Or slow pitch softball, or you do it in a celebrity softball game, or you do it in hitting or batting practice before the game. Like, that'd be okay, but
yeah, you could do it. You could do like a baseball skills competition, Okay, now bat left-handed. Now throw left-handed. Just try things out just for fun.
Been there,
Yeah,
brother.
but
Not
not
necessarily in a game situation.
not during a game. You shouldn't do that during a game. It doesn't matter if you're winning 20-1 or not. It's kind of one of those points to where now the other team's going to look at you and be like, okay, this guy's being a jerk now.
Yeah,
He's
you're
basically
basically
just rubbing it in our face and saying that we're not worth his time.
you're
and I
basically
didn't-
showing off.
That's pretty much what it is.
And I'll tell you what, it's the game Atlanta needed.
It is.
And I almost felt bad for the Pirates because it's like they had hung in there, they had beat us in extra innings the day before, and I don't know who ignited that locker room. Someone went in there and was like, "Listen, you just lost to the freaking Pirates. What the hell is wrong with you? You need better do something tomorrow." And then all you do is come out and hit 7 home runs, 7 extra base hits, or 7 homers, 7 doubles, 2 grand slams, and put up 20 runs.
And I'll tell you, I was one of those people that was frustrated because when I was watching that game, it was actually Friday when I'm watching that. Not Friday, sorry. It was on Thursday when we started our 4-game set against the Pirates. And they came out and they beat us in extra innings. I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. I'm like, of all teams, you need to get back on track right now, and you're going to freaking lose to the dang Pirates. At that point, I was so frustrated that I'm like, yeah, we suck. We're not going to do crap. And I was so mad. And then we come out and put up 20 runs. I'm like, okay, maybe this will turn around. And then we come around and win today, and I'm like, okay, we put up another 6. Yeah, obviously you're not going to put up 20 runs in every game.
No.
I completely understand that. But at least we come out and score 6. I'm like, okay, we got the victory again. Let's see what happens tomorrow. But for the life of me, man, somebody had to ignite something right now.
Well, yeah, what I'm happy to see is them to come out and support their starting pitching. So we had talked about how pitching had been horrible in Atlanta. But actually now over their last 19 starts, the ERA is 2.63 in our last 19 starts by our starting pitching.
It's been the bullpen that's been atrocious.
It's been the bullpen that's been atrocious. And Will Smith, why are we still putting him out there? I don't understand. God, he's so bad.
Yeah, he is. But
I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was 20-0, and I'm like, please don't put Will Smith in the game because they'll come back. They'll at least get close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
The guy is so bad. I don't. And then we got a guy like Tucker Davidson who came out the other night and pitched a hell of his first start ever, and he comes out and gives up 2 earned runs in 6 innings, and then we sent him back down to the minors. Like, oh yeah, thanks, but you're going back down. We could have at least kept him in the majors and said, hey, take one of our bullpen spots for now. We'll give you some spot starts when we need you to, but stay up here and learn how to pitch in the big leagues because he had a hell of a game, and why would we send him back to the – it doesn't make any sense.
Well, when you think about it, too, we have Will Smith, who's still in the bullpen, who's been atrocious. We have still Luke Jackson in the bullpen that
Okay. This year his ERA is like 1.71, so –
but he's done that a few times, though. He starts out good, and then at the end of the year, you know how it is with Luke Jackson every year. He comes out every year, and then at the thing is his ERA to me, I don't care what his ERA is. I don't trust the dude. I don't think I ever will. It doesn't matter if we have a 7-run lead. I look at Luke Jackson and I'm like, please don't bring in this guy. Please do not bring him in.
But right now, you're the Atlanta manager. You got a 9th inning with a 4-run lead. Are you trusting Will Smith? Or are you trusting Luke Jackson at this point?
Right now, it's a toss-up, but I got to go with Luke Jackson.
I'm saying because I don't trust.
Let me ask you this.
I don't trust Will Smith.
You remember the Jim Johnson era?
Yep.
Okay, would you rather have Jim Johnson or would you rather have Will Smith?
Man. I'd probably ask Freddie if he wanted to go out and throw an inning at that point.
I mean, you need to.
That was horrible. And what pisses me off even more is that we wouldn't give Melanson any money. And all he's doing is leading the Major League Baseball in saves this year.
And Melanson was good last year as the closer. But we finally went out and got Shane Green again. We needed that. So Shane Green was a huge activity.
I believe he'll be ready for the big leagues on Monday, is what I heard.
And so we can actually put him in the closer role. We can take Will Smith out and put Shane Green in there. Absolutely. Because that was
we can't get out of getting Will Smith out of there fast enough.
All right. So before
it's bad when you have a pitcher come in and I'm like, oh well, here comes a 3-2 count. I mean,
yeah,
it's horrible. He has a 3-2 count to everybody.
All right. So, J-Mac, I'll go to you. Is there a topic that floats your boat?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to talk a little NHL playoffs.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Stanley Cup playoffs.
Did you see that? Well, in the NFL, when Jared Lorenzen was considered the hefty lefty, but I was going to go the opposite direction, and now the Toronto Maple Leafs has said now that they started the Russian left-handed goalie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's not something you see very often. It's just not. You don't see a left-handed goalie ever start, and they're taking a chance.
For sure. Yeah, they're taking a chance and definitely Russian. But let me say that the action today for the NHL in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Oh, fantastic!
It was fantastic, but there was not a game that was close.
But it doesn't matter to me. It's fantastic.
Great action. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love me some Stanley Cup hockey. I'm not even gonna lie, but just the teams that won definitely put their dominance into the series. So you had the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Florida Panthers 6-2.
Which let me tell you that, okay? I think everybody knew that the Lightning were going to come out and dominate because it's the Lightning, and that's what they do. Everybody knew that the Lightning was going to be good. I think that the series that I'm shocked on, and I don't know if J-Mac, if you are, how good the Islanders and the Penguins series right now is. It's tied at 2. Yep. I mean, that series is so good right now that it could legitimately go either way at this point. Now, if I had to pick a winner at this point, I would probably go with the Islanders.
I don't think so. I think the Penguins take it, and I think it's just on experience. That's really what it's going to come down to in the end.
So Pittsburgh has more experience.
We're different on that one, but it's definitely a great series. Great series. It's 4-1 today. The Islanders won against the Penguins. Tied the series at 2. This one's going to go 7. I don't see this going any less than 7 games. The Penguins win it in 7, though, I think, to move on. Then you have out of the North Division, or the Canada Division, if you will, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens. Now, I was one of those guys that was like, I'm not sold on the Maple Leafs. I don't think they're going to come out and do anything. They won 5-1 today.
Yeah, but the series is still 1-1. I mean,
the series is 1-1. It's not over by any means, but they did win 5-1. They put up 5 goals. So at least for today, they can shut me up, and they won a playoff game. So
we have a comment in the comment box here to where Brandon says, and I can tell he's salty. That's why he doesn't want to talk about the playoffs, because he says, who cares about the NHL playoffs? The Wild lost 4-0. Move on. Okay, I completely understand that, but
we were going to move on to that game next, Brandon. So I'm glad you brought it up. Because the Golden Knights won 4-0, and they lead the series 3-1. And Brandon,
the Wild are done.
They're done, man. There's no way they're not gonna beat the Golden Knights 3 games in a row.
They might win one game.
They might win one more and make them go to 6, but they're not gonna beat the Golden Knights 3 in a row. So I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah, and Brandon wanted to throw an interesting stat out there and say that the Wild had 35 shots and 0 goals. The Knights had 18 shots and 3 goals. So let me say this, okay? The Golden Knights could have put up a heck of a lot more if they wanted to. They were not even taking a lot of shots. They were not.
Yeah. Right. Nope, for sure. They were not
I've got
taking
the Golden
a lot.
Knights in this one. I'll tell you that. I've got the Golden Knights. I don't think that the Wild are going to win another game. It's over in the next one. It's going to be 4-1. I've got the Maple Leafs, and you guys can give me your predictions or whatever.
Yeah, Will.
I
Yep.
got the Maple Leafs in 6. I think that the Canadians are going to win too.
Yeah.
I did not want to pick the Maple Leafs, but I'm kind of maybe starting to believe a little bit because the Maple Leafs have not been good for so long that I just didn't want to trust in them, and I kind of still don't. But I'm like, all right. I'll give them props. So I'll go 6 with the Maple Leafs. The Islanders, I got them going 7 because I think that series is going to go 7. And then between the Lightning and the Panthers, I think it's done. I think the Lightning are going to come out and win the next one, and it's going to be over.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I have the Lightning at 5. I think that series is over. I got the Penguins winning in 7 over the Islanders. I think that one goes 7. I got the Maple Leafs in 6. And I actually got the Golden Knights in 6. I think the Wild come out and find a way to win in the next game, push it to 6. But I don't think that they. I don't. Game. He says they lose tomorrow. They're back in Vegas. I think the Wild come out and find a way to win it and make it 6, like I said. But
You're giving them another one? You're giving them a win.
I'll give them a win. But the Golden Knights will take it in 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would kind of have to agree, but I'm thinking maybe Islanders take one, but yeah, Pittsburgh's gonna win it. I see Vegas going far. They've been one of the few exceptions of expansion teams having really huge success.
Mm-hmm.
And I think next year Seattle will have to prove they're the best.
Seattle Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Chris, how are the Stars doing in the playoffs?
They're out.
Which
We
I
were
must say,
close. We were close. If it wasn't for Nashville holding the tiebreaker and having 4 games missed due to COVID.
well, I'll tell you
I mean,
what, though.
yeah, you were
but-
close, except those 16 teams in front of you.
Yeah.
Well, at least he can actually say that his team is relevant when ours
Hey.
is completely irrelevant at this point.
What are you doing? He's
Well-
supposed to bring that up.
It doesn't matter. Like our hockey team is so irrelevant right now. It doesn't even matter. That's why I normally wouldn't say anything, and I would just go with you and just rag on Chris because of his team. But the problem is right now is that I don't have any room to talk, and when the Red Wings actually come out and do something again, then we have more room to talk. It's kind of like the NBA. I'm not going to rag on anybody's team because
Well, you
my
don't
team's
have.
so
You can't.
I absolutely cannot rag on anybody's team in the NBA. The only team that I could rag on maybe is the Timberwolves. I could say that okay, we're better than the Timberwolves,
Wow, that takes a lot.
but that's pretty much about it. So with that, and I know how you feel about the NBA, J-Mac, but I still wanted to do predictions anyways with the NBA playoffs. So right now, the Portland Trailblazers are currently playing the Denver Nuggets. The Blazers are up by 2. It's 84-82. We know that Jamal Murray is hurt. He's not playing. He's been out for the season, and they're not going to get him back. And that's going to be a devastating loss, definitely for the Nuggets, especially in the playoff time. So with this, I've got Portland. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but a lot of people are looking at Portland now saying that they don't think that they can make it past the Nuggets. But as of late, how good Portland had been playing in their last 11 games, I think they were 10-1 in their they were coming out playing hot. They were playing some good basketball, and so I've got the Portland Trailblazers actually winning this. I do think it goes 7. but I've got the Blazers winning this one. Chris, how about you?
I think I got Denver. I feel like Denver's gonna be a contender.
Well, they do have the Joker and Jokic, and you can't deny, because halfway through the season, everybody was like, "Oh, you have to put Jokic in the MVP race." You have to. I mean, he's the Joker. He's that good. Without Murray, he's done a lot. He's still basically he's carried this team. He's done a lot for this team. So you're not wrong. I mean, you could really go either way with this, but I still have to go with Portland. J-Mac, how about you?
You know what time it is?
Dame time.
That's
Dame
right.
time.
It's Dame time. I think this is the year they get over the hump. I think they take Denver.
You're not saying the finals, right?
Guess I'll save that for another show. No, we'll go one series at a time. I think they take this series in 6.
You got 6, okay? And then tonight, the very first game to basically kick off the actual first round of the playoffs, you had the Milwaukee Bucks against the Miami Heat. It went to overtime. And I'll tell you what, the beginning of this game, I watched this one, and man, the beginning of this thing was just wow.
Yeah.
Both teams were just completely ice cold. And I mean, you want to talk about ice cold. They were just shooting 3 after 3, missing. I mean, the Bucks were like, what were they, like 3 for like 14 in their first 17 3-point shots, and the Miami Heat weren't shooting much better. Adebayo wasn't doing much. Kendrick Nunn was cold, and then you looked on the Bucks side, and Giannis, the Greek freak, man, I'll tell you, he wasn't doing very good at the beginning. He picked it up at the end, and then, of course, to seal the game in overtime, Chris Middleton hit a big shot. Chris Middleton. And that was a clutch shot. With this, though, the Bucks are looking for vengeance because the Miami Heat came out and knocked them out last year. I don't feel like the Bucks are as good a team as they were last year. I don't even think that the Heat are quite as good as they were last year. But with that, I'm going to go with the Bucks. They get over that schneid of actually getting past the Heat and going to the second round, and the Greek freak is going to help them get past it. So I've got the Bucks. I've got it in 6. J-Mac, how about you?
I'm going to keep you all in suspense. We're going to roll a couple ads, and I'll give you my answer right after this brief message from our sponsors.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
And we're back. So
And
now
we are
we're not
back.
we're not in suspense anymore. So what's your take? What is your final?
Bucks in 5.
I would agree.
Wow.
Yeah. Although
Bucks
that
in
game,
5?
yeah. Although that game today was really good. I saw a good chunk of it, maybe the second quarter onward, but it was back and forth, went in overtime.
I'll tell you
great.
what. That first quarter was atrocious, though. My God, was that first quarter atrocious. It was just, both teams were just so cold. It was just ridiculous how cold they were. All right, and then, of course, we have to jump to Chris's Dallas Mavericks versus the LA Clippers. This is the funny thing. People were talking about how the Clippers purposely lost so they could duck the LA Lakers, because people are saying that the Clippers are scared of the LA Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they purposely ducked the Lakers, but then they came out and lost to the Dallas Mavericks. So I'll tell you this. If the Clippers lose this series, they ought to just break this team up, because I don't know if they're going to win anything at that point if they come out and lose the series to the Mavericks, which they should not. You have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and Beverly. You go out and you trade for playoff Rondo. You cannot lose to the Dallas Mavericks. You cannot.
Mm-mm.
But after what I saw today, like the Mavericks came out, and I'll tell you what, Luka today had himself a game. He absolutely came out and just was firing at all cylinders. Luka could not be stopped. That dude is a flat out beast. So
I know they put out MVP like the finalist, but I mean, he should be in there. Maybe he should be in there for playoff MVP. I don't know. At least for right now. Not.
Sounds like a typical Dallas fan.
No.
I don't want to trust. I'm not going to trust. It's so hard right now because Dallas is young, and I'm like, do I really trust them at this point in time, or do I even trust the Clippers at this point? It's so hard because I don't know if the Clippers are going to choke again. I don't know how well that the Mavericks are going to do, but I guess if anything at this point in time, I'm just going to go ahead just for the sake of it because of Kawhi and Paul George and Beverly and playoff Rondo. I've got to say that I'm going to take the Clippers in 7. I think it's going to go 7, but I got the Clippers. And obviously we know where Chris is going to go. The one thing that I want to know is, Chris, please don't tell me that you think the Clippers are – sorry, not the Clippers. Don't come out and tell me that you think that the Mavericks are going to sweep the Clippers.
They're not going to sweep. I'm thinking 4-3 in 4 games. But
so
sadly,
you mean 7? You mean 7 games?
Yeah.
It's going to go 7, and you got the Mavs in 7.
Yeah, but I think after the first round, sadly, they won't go far. They haven't made it past the first round in a while, so.
And J-Mac.
The Clippers in 6.
Clippers in 6. And then, of course, that's right, the Brooklyn Nets versus the Boston Celtics. This game to me was scary at first because I said that the Nets were going to come out and sweep the Celtics. I thought it was going to be a flat-out sweep. It still could happen because the Nets came out and ended up winning this game by 11. But the beginning of that game, man, it was scary. I mean, it was scary. The Celtics came out looking really good. The Nets were cold. And then you have in the MVP race, James Harden. Well, he should be in the MVP race anyways because for the longest time with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving being out, he carried this Nets team. He barely had anybody. And then, of course, James Harden got hurt. And so he missed a bunch of games. That's basically what took him out of the MVP race. But at this point in time, I've got the Nets. I got the Nets sweep, and I think that this Nets team is too good for Boston. I've got the Nets in 4. J-Mac, I'll go ahead and give this to you.
Nets in 5. Chris?
Nets in 5.
Wow. All right. Well, that was the games for today. We don't have to touch on every single playoff matchup because we have the other ones tomorrow. So, Chris, is there a topic that you have that you wanted to throw out there?
Not off the top of my head, no.
All right. I would like to talk about the 1976 water polo team. No, I'm just kidding.
There is 2 more though that I think we can touch on.
Go ahead.
Things. So the WNBA,
Absolutely.
Seattle Storm beat the Dallas Wings in overtime, 100-97. Another losing Dallas team. The Storm is the one Pacific Northwest team that I really root for, and so 100-97. The Storm has started their season 3-1. They're first in the West right now. They were led behind Breanna Stewart with 36 points and 11 rebounds. The Dallas Wings, I mean, they got a good performance from Marina Mabry though. Oh, what a coincidence that name is. Anyway, she had 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists for a Dallas Wings team. But let's not forget that Breanna Stewart also had 5 blocks.
Yeah, I was gonna right when you were talking about the Seattle Storm, I was gonna come out and immediately talk about Breanna Stewart and talk about what the amazing game she had.
Yeah, she had an amazing game. Yeah, it was insane. And let me just get you some rundown real quick on that was the only game today. You got some games on the slate for tomorrow. but it's going to be a good season. I'm kind of excited for this 25th season. I think that there's some good matchups. There's going to be some good basketball, and they said that with Sabrina Owenscu in the debut for the first weekend of the WNBA, that they had a 25% increase in viewership the first weekend for the 25th season. So,
Oh wow.
Congratulations to them on getting out there and more people paying attention to their game. And then the last thing I would touch on is the MLS, because we're in the middle of that season. And so just give you finals real quick. You had LAFC beat Colorado 2-1. FC Cincinnati beat CF Montreal 2-1. Portland Timbers beat the LA Galaxy 3-0. Chicago beat Inter Miami 1-0. Orlando beat Toronto FC 1-0. Columbus beat NYCFC 2-1. FC Dallas and Real Salt Lake 2-2 tie. All right, you guys didn't lose a game. Awesome. New England beat the New York Red Bulls 3-1. Sporting KC beat San Jose 3-1. And last but not least, the Houston Dynamo beat my team, the Vancouver Whitecaps, 2-1.
So speaking of soccer for a second here, like you're saying, we've talked about Lionel Messi before. It looks like Lionel Messi is going to be gone from Barcelona.
Huh. I haven't heard it. Haven't heard that.
Well, Chris, you got to remember about the conversation that we had about where they offered them this massive contract, and then they had to take it back again because they said they couldn't afford him to pay that amount of money.
Right.
And now because Lionel Messi got that money, now he thinks he's worth it, and then now they backtracked and they can't give him that money, and so now they're saying, is he going to re-sign after this year, or is Lionel Messi pretty much done? I don't know. J-Mac, what do you think? You think he's coming back to Barcelona, or do you think he's done?
I wouldn't come back. Would you come back?
I wouldn't. No.
No, he's not coming back. Sometimes for a man, it's not about the money; it's about the pride. Like you played me like a fool, and I'm gonna come back and let you do it again.
You said I was gonna get the money.
Right. I mean, fool me once, shame on me. On you, fool me twice, shame on me. So you're not gonna fool me twice.
No, I get you. I just know that there's a lot of talk out there still saying that they do believe he will go back to Barcelona, but I just don't see it. After the way that they treated him with the whole contract situation, I don't see him going back at all. I think he's going to end up going, maybe, as much as I want to say it, and you're going to hate me because I'm saying this, and you're going to say that I'm going to be a homer about it, but I want to see him go to Man U.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? I want to see him go to Man U.
Well, then I want to see him go to Arsenal. I mean, we could all sit here and say we want him to go to our favorite team. That's.
I know, but in reality, he's not going to go to Man U. I completely get it.
I'll be realistic. He's not going to Arsenal either. So
no, but if he goes to any Manchester team, it'll be Man City. It won't be Manchester United. It'll be Man City, and that's where Lionel Messi could end up going. But I don't want him to go there. I want him to go to Man U, but I just know it's not going to happen.
We all can dream.
Oh, absolutely. But
you know what? I won't like it if he goes to Man City because I don't want him to be with a rival. But I'll tell you what. One thing Ace and I can both agree on right now: dude's dead to me if he goes to Chelsea.
Oh, absolutely. I will never. As much as I like the guy, I'm like, you know what? He can go burn at that point because I will be done. If he goes to Chelsea, he's out of my mind. He's completely out of my mind. He's gone. He doesn't exist to me at that point.
Yeah.
Chelsea's not an elite team. I mean, I know they're in the Premier League, but
everyone hates Chelsea in the Premier League.
How can you not hate Chelsea?
Watch some Premier League soccer, bro.
No, I do. I just
everybody hates Chelsea.
anyone who's not a Chelsea fan hates Chelsea. And then, like, me being an Arsenal fan, Ace being a Man U fan, we can both agree that we hate Chelsea.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we're rivals, and we hate each other's teams, but we could get together and go to any game where anyone's playing Chelsea and root for the other team.
Yeah, as long as Chelsea loses, I'm completely okay.
Yeah.
I don't care if Dallas comes out and beats them. And I don't like any Dallas teams. I don't. But if Dallas comes out and beats Chelsea, it makes my day.
Yeah.
All right. So now it brings it to that point, and I think Chris knows where this is going because last time he got off the hook. This time he should not be off the hook. Last time J-Mac got a clean sweep of Big B in the trivia. That could mean that, Chris, you might take a clean sweep also. You never know.
Never know.
And so with that, J-Mac is usually the one who picks the topic, but for the sake of it, because he got a clean sweep, Chris, I'm going to be a nice guy, and I'm going to allow you to pick the team that we're doing the trivia for. So what team are you going to choose? I'm just going to be a nice guy, and I'll give you the option. And there's that stone cold
I
silence.
don't know.
And I'll tell you if we've already done it or not. So
Let's go with Oakland, LA, Las Vegas, Raiders.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
So you're choosing the Raiders. Okay. So, Chris. Well, actually, I'll go with J-Mac. J-Mac, you want the first question? Do you want to kick or receive on this one?
I'll defer.
You're going to defer.
I kind of figured you'd do that.
All right, Chris, the first question comes to you. Who became head coach of the Raiders in 1963?
John Madden?
No, that is not correct. J-Mac.
Al Davis.
That is the correct answer. So, 1-0 J-Mac. Okay, J-Mac, your question is, what year was the Las Vegas franchise founded?
Oh, wait. So do they want the Las Vegas one or the
no, they actually
Like
want
the Raiders overall.
the Raiders.
1960?
And that is the correct answer. 1960 is the correct answer. All right. Chris, this comes to you. It looks like this could be a very fast game today. But I feel like we already did this one. But that's all right.
I wouldn't remember if we did the Raiders, so.
Okay. Who did the Raiders trade to the Minnesota Vikings in 2005 for wide receiver Randy Moss?
Dante Culpepper?
No, that is not the correct answer. J-Mac. Brandon's answer is a bag of balls.
Who'd they trade for Randy Moss?
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Chris is like, wait, I know this. Wait, no, I don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't.
Napoleon. I feel like it's something weird, so I feel like it's not an everyday player we would know. I want to say Napoleon Kaufman.
No, you were close. It's Napoleon Harris.
Dang it!
It was so close. It was so close, but yes, it was Napoleon Harris.
Napoleon Dynamite. I'm just kidding.
So, J-Mac, who was the first Raider to be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame?
Ray Guy.
No, that is not the correct answer. Chris,
Tim Brown.
that is not the correct answer. And Brandon Herrera threw out the answer of John Madden. But the correct answer is actually Jim Otto.
Oh. Yeah.
All right. Chris, this question comes to you. What city did the Raiders move to in 1982?
Oh, come on.
Los
I
Angeles?
think you got.
You bastard.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. You're now on the board. Good job, Chris. You got that one right.
Because I know they traveled back and forth, so it's... I
Yeah.
was trying to think, did they?
Yes, they went to Los Angeles
Okay.
and then Oakland, and then now they're in Las Vegas. So they kind of did that whole weird. That's why when you do like trivia on the Raiders, it's always like Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Oakland. There's like so
Yeah.
many different styles of the Raiders on the trivia side that you could actually do. But
Right.
J-Mac, this question comes to you. Who was the first player to rack up more than 10,000 career receiving yards as a Raider?
Oh, Tim Brown.
Yeah, that is the correct answer. So 3-1 J-Mac, okay. This question comes to you, Chris.
Yes.
Who was the Raiders' starting quarterback from 1993 to 1996?
Oh, gosh.
93 to 96. Oh, that loser guy. Yeah.
That loser guy.
Yeah, I think I know who it was, too.
That loser guy. At what point was there actually, like, not a loser guy for the Raiders at some point as far as quarterback?
From what year?
93
93
96.
to 96. Unless you're talking about the year that they made the Super Bowl and got trounced by the freaking Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'm not sure.
You got to throw an answer. Come on, throw something out there, man.
Go with Brandon Herrera's answer. I mean, throw
I
something
haven't
out
looked.
there.
Throw something out there, jeez.
Dan Campbell? I don't know.
Dan Campbell.
I
No,
don't,
no, Dan Campbell's not the correct answer. J-Mac, what do you think?
Jay Schroeder.
No, the correct answer was Jeff Hostetler.
God,
uh,
that other guy.
Yeah, that other loser that you were talking about. All right. J-Mac, what Raider was named NFL MVP in 2002?
Oh, Rich Gannon.
Yeah, you got it.
Well, he led him to the Super Bowl. Like, he was the only one on that team that would have been the MVP.
All right. Well, they got trounced that year in the Super Bowl, man. But that was kind of their fault anyway.
It's 4-1. You got one more, Chris.
All right. Chris, this question comes to you. What is the longest passing play in Raiders history?
Jerry Rice in 2000?
No, I need the yardage.
Oh. 105 yards.
No, that is not the correct answer. J-Mac.
Oh, sorry. Oh, my God. Did you just say...
Yeah,
105
Jesus.
I don't know.
105 yards.
I'm going to say it's like a lot of other teams. I feel like a lot of teams' longest pass in play was 99 yards. So I'm going to say 99 yards. I have no idea who did it, but I'll say 99 yards.
And 99 yards is the correct answer.
I was a little off. But
Sorry, I had 105 on a passing play? What? Chris, they can't start from in the end zone, brother.
I mean,
they could. They could.
No, it doesn't. If you start at the one and run back in the end zone, it doesn't count as yardage. It
Well, yeah,
counts
if
as-
you don't cross the the plane, yeah.
Yeah, but if you cross the plane, it's a safety. You can't start
Right.
from in the end zone.
Hey, it's all right. That's as good as the Anaheim Sharks. So it's all good.
The Anaheim Sharks. Oh, I said sharks. I didn't mean to say sharks.
I know. I mean that one is a Four Bros one, but that one was Randy Cox. He told us his favorite hockey team was the Anaheim Sharks.
Right, or you have Chris.
Yeah.
You also have Brandon Herrera on the show that when it comes to the easy ones, don't say it's easy. He does then he freezes up and he completely forgets.
Oh, Charles Johnson. I'll never forget that one.
Charles Johnson. Or who was it? Who was it that said? Was that also Brent? No. Who had the question? We asked the question about who had the catch or no catch in 2014, and they said Michael Irvin.
Yeah, that was Brandon because he thought he heard 98 or something.
He had the right jersey number.
Yeah, I was like, who said that? But it was the right one. Just
Brandon says me.
He's like, that was me.
Yeah.
So you have Charles Johnson and Michael Irvin. So never tell Brandon it's an easy question. He's going to completely freeze up and completely forget on what the answer completely is. But anyways, so that brings us to the end of the show. And I know at the last Sports Minute that we did, we actually drafted our baseball teams. And I know right now J-Mac is super excited about his baseball teams that he ended up drafting.
Yay.
Did any of them get you any victories today? I think
The Red Sox
who was your
won.
team?
The Red Sox won. They are my only team to win today. I was 1-5.
You were 1-5.
1-5.
And Brandon, I know you're out there listening. Did any of your teams win today? So when I look at mine, I had the Yankees win, the White Sox lost, the Rangers. This sucks. I got stuck with the freaking Rangers, but the Rangers won. So there was 2. The Marlins won. That was 3. The Brewers won. That was 4, and then the Dodgers won. That was 5. So yeah. And Brandon's like, who cares?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he's very excited about his teams.
Doesn't sound like it.
I mean, I have the freaking Pirates and the freaking Twins, okay?
Yeah, but you have some good teams in there, though.
The Red Sox.
Basically, what you have to hope for is that you have to hope for the Pirates not to finish last. You at least want them to at least get you 2 points. So you're hoping that they can get you 2 points and not finish last.
That's the hope, I guess. Doesn't look good for today. 1-5.
1-5.
I mean, in baseball, pick 6 teams, okay? Any random 6 teams every day on the parlay. You play a parlay of 6 teams and say, I'm going to pick these 6 teams. I want them all to win. And your chances of getting at least 3 of them to win is probably pretty close to 50%. Not me. I go 1-5.
But it also depends on the series. I mean, it's a series of games, so and how they're playing that stretch.
Okay, but for me, like 2 of my teams, I have the Yankees and the White Sox, and they're playing each other. So
It's a
somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose.
Your
So-
one loss was the team they're playing.
Yeah, exactly. The one loss was the team that they were playing. So on Wednesday, we'll actually have an update for all the fans to see how many total points we have so far, as in 1 through 5. If they're in 5th place right now, you get a point. If they're in 4th, you get 2, and then so on and so forth. But so I don't know how good J-Mac is sitting right now with his current standings, but
I got 1 point from 2 of my teams.
Which I'm guessing that would be the Twins and the Pirates.
Yep. My
Who
other
else?
teams are doing okay. I mean, they're at least in third place, but
I think the Red Sox are in first though, so they got you 5 there.
yeah, true. But that's 7 between 3 teams because I got the stupid ass Pirates and the Twins.
Hey,
Again,
I've got
you play a parlay with 6 teams and pick 6 teams to win. You got a good shot of at least breaking even, and I go 1-5.
the Rangers.
They'll win games. They just won't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but I think they're still going to finish last in their division.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I
that's
think a
gonna
more
only be
interesting
point.
bet we take on the show is what team gets a no-hit the most this year. What team gets a third no-hitter against them this year?
Well, with the way that the way that Seattle's hitting, I wouldn't hold it past them because their whole lineup is batting like a 198 or something like that. Like
Yeah,
it's horrible.
It's bad.
Like it's bad.
Bad. I mean, not only have they been no-hit twice in 2 weeks, by the way,
That's crazy.
I've seen some of the scores of their games. They lose like 7-1, 16-1, 11-2.
They're a complete mess right now. And even Brandon's saying Seattle too. So I don't know. My choice is Seattle. So by the end of the year, the team that'll be no hit the most will probably be Seattle. Hey, at least, but just think though, Atlanta was almost no hit twice in the same day.
Oh, because of a doubleheader?
Yeah, but neither one of them would have counted officially because it's only 7 innings.
Officially, yeah, but we almost got no hit twice in the same day. We had 1 hit in 2 games.
Hey, we have a major league record.
They need to change that rule.
Right? 1 hit in 2 games in the same day.
1 hit in 2 games in the same day. That's a major league record.
Yeah, because we almost got no hit twice.
So we set 2 major league records in the same season. We set the record with seven home runs and 2 of them being grand slams was the first time ever, and we're the first team to ever have 1 hit in a doubleheader.
Yes, close to being no hit twice in the same day. Ridiculous. All right. So Brandon says that we should bet on who the next no hitter comes from, and I don't know if he's talking about the team or if he's talking about the pitcher.
Kind of sounds like the pitcher.
I don't know.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna look at all 180 starters in baseball and throw a dart and pick one?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm definitely.
Bring up all the pitchers and just go.
Oh no, Brandon's saying team.
Oh, okay.
So
That makes
the next
it
team
simpler.
to
Yeah.
pitch a no hitter. It's gonna happen tomorrow, and I'm gonna say that tomorrow that the Atlanta Braves are gonna no hit the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay, who's our starter tomorrow?
No, I'm just kidding. If I had to pick the next no hitter, I'm gonna say that it's gonna come from the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are gonna pitch the next no hitter. That's my guess. What do you guys got?
I'll take that. The next no hitter comes from. Next no hitter will come from the Red Sox.
Chris.
Rangers.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I thought the 105-yard touchdown was the worst thing you said today.
Okay. But it's coming from the Rangers. All right. With that, I think I guess that's definitely our exit time.
Yeah,
now.
that's it.
Right,
Like, we're done.
So,
Can't follow
J-Mac,
that up.
So, J-Mac, you got 30 seconds to wrap it up and say whatever it is you got to say.
Watch me dominate tomorrow on trivia. I hope everyone's watching this domination. 5-1. Good luck to all of you tomorrow. Hope that you can read fast because I can, and that's how I get all the answers. So, We'll see y'all in the morning when I go for a new record on the show. The record right now is 10,300 points, so we'll see how many I can get tomorrow. See you then.
Isaiah's coming for it. All right, so
Good luck.
So Chris, you got 30 seconds.
Thank you guys for watching all the shows and following all the stuff we have going on. Tomorrow is You Think You Know, the trivia show, and
Between the
hope you
ropes.
guys- and in between the ropes after that, later on that evening. So hope you guys
Absolutely.
tune in.
All right, so I want to thank everybody for watching again, and of course, with that, I am Ace, that is Chris, and that is J-Mac, the bearded one, and we are signing off,
you
and we will
bastard.
see you again next time for another episode of Sports Minute.